Yo, YouTube, I got something new. It's in this box right here, and it's interesting too. Yeah? I got something. I got it. This package is giving me hot flashes. As always, cutting toward ourselves to maximize injury. Oh gosh, guys. Oh man. Now, for those of you who have been watching the last couple of months know that I've been doing a lot of Mavic Pro videos, but I realized that if I'm gonna keep my channel fresh, I've gotta get my master's degree. So let's tear into this and see what we got. Sweet. I also need to thank all of my subscribers and people who take an interest in my channel, because without you, this would not be happening today. Wow. Right on. It's beautiful, just the way it is. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to affect my personal relationship with the Mavic Pro. Hopefully it will understand that I'm into polygamy. All right, you can definitely feel it. This is heavy. It's got some weight to it. A lot heavier than the Mavic body, that's for sure. The battery is in, so this is gonna be how it feels. And then we have our controller. And this is not the Pro Plus, so I'm going to be using my iPad as the screen. So right away, before we can even open up our controller, it says download the Go app, launch Go app, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna go through some firmware and also some battery charging before we take it out. When I took out the Mavic a couple months ago, I flew indoors for the first time with a critical battery warning. Oh shit! So we're gonna do this right today. I'm gonna actually charge this thing up before we take it out. Oh, flips up just like that. So the drone came with its own battery. If I recall, you press these and pull it out. Yeah, that's a pretty hefty battery. That's about 1.5 times bigger than the Mavic battery, and it looks like it's also a lot heavier. Status, yep, we are low on battery. So I'm gonna tell you that there's no Fly More combo or something similar to that with the Phantom 4, as opposed to the Mavic, which had a Fly More combo. It has extra batteries, a bag, and stuff like that. You kind of have to purchase these either separately or find some sort of combo on Amazon. So what I did is I just bought extra batteries straight from DJI. So I have 2 extra batteries, and I also have the charging hub that I bought separately on DJI. That way it's all still inclusive. And then I also bought 2 sets of propellers, as well as the iPad controller hood for sunlight. I am missing my filters. I was hoping to have some filters for this by now, but I don't. That's all right, we'll wait. All right, so in the case, it looks like it has manuals, as well as some information about know before you fly, and then also some propellers, the charger right here. So we'll connect that to our hub that we got. And the wall plug. So it comes with a USB to micro USB. And it also comes with a USB to micro USB adapter. So if you have a longer cord and you want to use it, looks like you could. Now, since I have an iPad, they're not going to give me a lightning cable in the box. I do have this Freewell lightning to USB cable right here. And it's also gold, so it matches my iPad. So I'm going to take my iPad out of its case. A little gross. Whoops. Let's put the props on real quick. I am gonna take these warnings off. So the warnings there on the arms of the drone are basically telling us that we have to make sure that we put these on correctly. And it looks like new props come with some sort of plastic covering this part of it, so I guess no dust gets in there, but also it kind of gives you one checkpoint to make sure that you're really focused on what you're doing. Also gives some instructions, so it tells you which way to turn it to lock it in place. So we put it on and we turn counterclockwise to lock it in. There it is. And then to take it off, we go the other way. So basically these turn clockwise to lock in, these turn counterclockwise to lock in. This one has a silver band and this one has a black band, and those correspond with the colors of the little motors inside when you put them on. I feel like we should get these batteries charging so that we can really get off the ground soon. So this is the official DJI 3 battery charging hub for the Phantom Pro, and it appears that they fit like this. Yeah. All right, we're in. Here's my favorite battery charging stool, and we're charging. Looks good. Okay, so with the controller here, I think the coolest thing about this is when you press this button, it releases itself. That's pretty cool. Feels snug. It's not moving out. That feels good. So there's our charging port right there. So let's use this cord here. Now perhaps I need a right angle cable because this looks a little precarious, but it'll work for today. So right off the bat, holding this feels a little more awkward compared to the Mavic remote. Feels a little top heavy, I suppose, and it also just feels really big and clunky. So that's one thing that the Mavic Pro had going for it. You know, using a phone and just having a small controller, I guess I've gotten used to that. Now it does look like there's also some plastic that we need to pull off the sensors here. I guess it was keeping them clean, but now we have to get rid of these plastic bits. Also the camera. So the camera is basically why I bought this drone. With the Mavic, there's been a lot of complaints with low light, color banding, artifacts. So because this camera records at a higher bit rate and has a better sensor and that sort of thing, hopefully we can get a better image in those more unusual shooting conditions. And I'm sorry for comparing this to the Mavic so much, it's just that's my only drone I own. So, oh, look at this red sticker, remove before flight. So that holds on, okay. So now the gimbal is very free. I'm willing to bet that this is a good thing to put on whenever you're done flying. Anytime, not just unboxing it the first time. Okay, so right away I see the SD card, which is right here, right in the side. 16 gigabyte, extreme SanDisk. So this is actually the same version of SD card that I use with the Mavic. This is just a 16 gigabyte version, so that's pretty cool. I would have thought that there would be like a door, something that you would open up to access the SD card, but it's actually right there, so that surprises me. I did not opt for one of the DJI bags because I have bags all over the place in this house. I'm sure I can find something that will fit this drone. Also in the box is the DJI Care Refresh information. It says on the back that within 48 hours of aircraft activation, you have to purchase or bind the Care Refresh package. So make sure you do that quickly if that's something you want to do. I'm going to start charging the controller. I think for now, this is how I'm going to transport this. We have the drone, the controller, sunshade, iPad, propellers, all that stuff, as well as the batteries here. So I think this is how I'm going to be transporting it for the next while. I actually reviewed this bag, as well as some other ones, a couple months ago for Orca bags. So I'm so glad that this actually works out and I can continue to use their products. Got my sidekick Freddy here for a couple hours to test out the drone. He's gonna help as best he can. That's awesome. Looks awesome.
love me, or I love you too.
All right, guys, I'm back. Obviously, it's a different day, different shirt and everything. I just wanted to get a couple days of shooting under my belt before I kind of return to the end of this video. Plus, it's been really cloudy and rainy the last couple days, and I wanted to shoot in a good, nice, sunny day before I kind of, you know, had my parting thoughts for this first video about the Phantom 4 Pro. So first of all, awesome drone. I love it. I was surprised though that it doesn't really handle wind quite as well as the Mavic Pro. Now again, I'm sorry for kind of comparing it to the Mavic Pro so much, but honestly that's the only drone that I've ever flown before. It is not as stable in the wind, and the gimbal seems to be a little more jarring in the wind as well. But the camera is phenomenal. I love the camera. And with the higher dynamic range of the Phantom 4 Pro camera, I just really get some awesome shots, you know? Some of the shots that you saw in the video today were shot in the Agate G color profile. I'm not sure if it's Agate or if it's like Agate G, but Agate sounds cooler. But anyway, not all DJI Go app versions have that. Some say Filmic C or E, some say Beach or Nostalgia. But for the Apple version that I use for the iPad Mini 4, it says Agate G. And so I use that and I love it. It's got just the amount of contrast and saturation that I really like in the video. I also have a -2 on the sharpness for most of those clips. And then I'm just kind of bouncing back and forth with the different frame rates. The drone is loud. It's actually a lot louder than the Mavic. And so I found myself kind of concerned that I was going to bother people. I took off in front of my house and realized that even at 400 feet, the max height that FAA allows, I could still hear it very, very well. And accelerating and going forward very quickly, I was making dogs bark in my neighborhood. There were people who were looking up at it, you know, who were working outside in their house. Not that I was doing anything illegal, but I just felt like I was being a nuisance. Also, the charger hub has a little switch that goes from storage to charging. And you gotta make sure that you're in charging if you want your batteries to charge to 100%. I originally had it in storage mode, and it was kind of setting all three at the same time to a storage level charge. And I was like, oh, this is great. They're all charging together. That's a bonus. That's better than what the Mavic does, charging one at a time. No, switch it to charging, and then all of a sudden you realize, yeah, it does charge one at a time. One more thing I noticed was the controller's kind of heavy. Honestly, it's a little bit heavy with the iPad attached to it, as well as the sunshade, and so really using some sort of lanyard or some sort of shoulder or maybe neck strap on the controller itself will really help out with that. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I do hope that you Mavic people don't think I'm going to just desert you. I do want to do more Mavic Pro videos in the future, but I'm also really excited about this Phantom 4 Pro, so you'll probably see a lot of those videos come up in the next couple days and weeks. But rest assured, I'll be doing drone videos in general that also concern the Mavic and maybe some other models in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you like the channel, and check out the video description for all a list of the gear and the accessories that I'm using for the Phantom 4 Pro and the Mavic Pro and just videography in general. All right, guys, happy flying.